Did you know that you can choose a custom color for your piece of furniture? I know the word custom is really scary, and a lot of times it's associated with expensive, time consuming, complicated, and people can just really feel intimidated by it. But to be honest with you, custom color matching is not scary. We do it all the time. I have done it for my personal home, and I'm going to explain to you the process of custom color matching. To make life easy for my customers, I have a palette of 33 colors that you can choose from. And it's pretty easy for you to choose any of the colors when you're ordering, or you can also buy a piece of furniture and request for up to 3 swatches. For that, you just have to click on undecided and choose up to 3 color swatches, and I will mail those swatches for you. I only have 33 colors, and there are hundreds and thousands and millions of color options out there. So, in your case, the colors that I have may not work for you. It's particularly possible when you already have other expensive items in place in your room. So if you already have drapery panels, if you already have a sofa or wallpaper installed and you're trying to buy a piece of furniture to match that, then you might really need a custom piece. Now, there are a few ways that we can do custom color. The number one, which would be the easiest way, is for you to go to a paint store, find a chip that matches the color of your fabric or wallpaper or whatever you're trying to match, and let us know the manufacturer and the color code, and we can have that color matched by our vendor. So that's one way to do it. And as long as we can get our hands on a physical sample, we can match the color. If it's Benjamin Moore, Sherwin-Williams, Farrow and Ball, we already have those decks. We can also go to Lowe's or Home Depot or Ace and get any of those color chips and have those matched. You can mail us a color chip and we can have that matched. I had a customer that wanted a very specific color from a very niche manufacturer, and we did not have a retail location of that manufacturer. And so, in that case, I will have the customer mail us the sample and we can have that match. So, for example, recently I had a customer who had this really pale blush pink color from Schumacher backdrop that she wanted matched. And I just had her send me the swatch and we had it matched. Now, in some cases, all the colors that are out there available in a swatch form, none of them may be right for you. And in that case, you may just have to choose to get your wallpaper or fabric custom color matched. And that may sound like even more complicated, but honestly, it's not. My paint store guy has this cool machine. He will scan the wallpaper or the fabric, and the machine will spit out a formula for him to be able to mix that. So in my case, we had to get my wall color matched for this space where I had to take my wallpaper to my paint guy. I go to my Benjamin Moore paint store and he's the one that matches my colors. When I went to the Benjamin Moore store, I pulled out every possible color that could have been a match to my wallpaper, and none of them were a match. I mean, you can clearly see that one is too cool compared to the wallpaper color, and one is too warm and too green. And I needed a 100% match. So he matched that color. And this was wall paint. And I understand that it might seem different, but it's not. We can match wall lacquer exactly like wall paint. In that case, what I will do is I'll have you send me your wallpaper or your fabric, and I can take it to the paint store and have the paint store match it. A few things that you want to remember when you're trying to custom match a wallpaper or a fabric is that whatever color that you are trying to match, it needs to be large enough that it can be scanned by the machine. So if you're trying to match some tiny speck of color that is in your wallpaper or in your fabric, it might be too difficult. The machine needs to be able to see and scan the color clearly in order to give out the formula. So having a large enough surface that has the color is important. The other thing is that any fabric that has a nap, we cannot match that. Like a velvet has a nap. So based on which direction you're looking at, velvet can look completely different colors, and that's not something we can match. And the third and most important thing to remember is that a custom color is matched by the eye. So at the end of the day, it's the paint store guy that's going to look at the color. He's going to make the tweaks based on what he's seeing, and he's going to match the color according to his expertise. So there might be a slight bit of variation between two different people trying to match the exact same color. And for this reason, anytime we do a custom color for a customer, we generally send out the color for you to approve it. So once we get the color match, we'll spray it out and we'll send out a large sample for you to look at in your space and to make sure that it works for you. Now, here's another thing to remember I know, I'm not trying to complicate things, but lacquer can lighten the appearance of a color significantly. Because gloss lacquer tends to reflect the light that's in the space, a color can look much lighter because it's reflecting the light surroundings of this space. And in order to combat that, there are a couple of things you can do. First, what you can do is when you look at a paint chip from like Sherwin-Williams or Benjamin Moore, you will see that the color is organized from top to bottom, from lightest to darkest. So sometimes, in order to prevent having a color looking too washed out, you can choose a color that's one shade darker than your exact match. What that will do is it will make sure that you get enough depth and richness of color, and your color will not look washed out. The other thing that you can do, and it's easy to do, I promise, is we can darken the color by 25, 50, or even 100%. So, for example, this vanity that we painted for this customer, she did a custom color and she did Benjamin Moore's Racing Orange. Now, she had us darken the color by 25% in order to make sure that it matches her wallpaper accurately. And she loved the color that she got. And you can see she even sent us a picture after the vanity was installed. We can prevent the problem of colors looking washed out by darkening the color by 25, 50, or even 100%. It all really depends. Like if you're trying to darken a dark navy, you're not going to see the difference. Or if you're trying to darken a white, like a white dove or a chantilly lace, you're not going to see a bunch of a difference. But this is mainly meant for colors that are kind of in the middle of a paint strip. We can darken it up by 25, 50, 100% in order to get the accurate depth. So why does anybody need a custom color? Are you just being extra? Are you being a pain in the butt? Or are you trying to make yourself kind of special? No. Majority of the time anybody needs a custom color is because truly there's no color available that matches your wallpaper or fabric. This is especially a challenge when it comes to matching the undertones of a wallpaper or a fabric. And many times you just don't have the time to go to 2, 3, 4 different paint stores and look at all the paint swatches that they have and see what matches, bring it home, look at it in natural light, blah, blah, blah. So in that case, you can have us custom match it just to save some time, and that you also know that it's 100% accurate match. The way I look at it, especially lately, even a vintage piece of furniture or a newly made piece of furniture, it costs thousands of dollars. So it's completely okay to spend a little bit extra money and get that exact same color that you need so that it fits well in your space. There's nothing more frustrating or heartbreaking when you get a piece of furniture and the color is just not right. That could be really disheartening, and I don't want that to happen. There are a lot of designers that will take advantage of a custom color. We do it for designers all the time. It's not you being extra demanding or a pain when you're trying to get a color matched. You're just trying to find a piece of furniture that fits in your space. And here's how you order a piece of furniture in custom color. So instead of choosing any of our standard colors, you just pick custom and it will pop up this custom color box. And in that box, you can enter the manufacturer, which is like Benjamin Moore, Racing Orange, and the number, if you know it, which is 2169-10. You put that in there and just hit order. And that will get the process started of us getting the custom color mixed. I know doing a custom color can sound really scary, but we do it for designers all the time. It's not that complicated. I'm here to help. I can guide you. If you need help selecting a custom color, feel free to email me or call me. I'll be happy to help.